is the youngest Indian diplomat. And she works with United Nations. She is a policymaker, governance leader in 127 countries, and a diplomatic liaison in 12 United Nations agencies. Oh my God, what is she doing? Hello and welcome to my channel, Say Something with Mads. This is the 97th episode, and this channel, as you know by now, is only for the youth. What they have to say to the world, what is their passion, what is happening in their life. This is what we want to bring on this channel. And today, I am so honored and so happy to welcome a very young 13-year-old grade 9 student from Delhi. She is Nitya Lohiya. Hi, Nitya. Welcome to this episode. How are you feeling?
I'm just feeling so energetic and to really put my heart out for the young people to know it all.
Thank you so much. A quick introduction because you know her through the interview, but I would love to introduce her by saying that she is the youngest Indian diplomat. And she works with United Nations. She is a policymaker, governance leader in 127 countries, and a diplomatic liaison in 12 United Nations agencies. Oh my God, what is she doing? And just before the interview, she was delegating with some Chinese delegations and talking about some important matter. I would love to know that. And there is so much to talk. So let's dive in straight away. Nitya, tell me, let's go back because I'm always fascinated. You are 13. I can't even tell you that go back to your childhood because you are a child now. So, how did it all begin? Tell me the first step you took.
Okay. I have always, been a kind of person who is too into action. As a child, I felt those when I just saw all of the challenges and all of the things happening in the world, I thought I want to create change. I really want to, do that. And the very first thing I ever did is action.
So, how
What
old were
truly
you, Nitya? When did it all strike? What was the turning point? Did you read something or did a teacher influence you? When, at what age this happened?
Okay, so it all happened when I was 10.
Okay.
And it was just a very simple idea of creating an impact. And which I at that moment I was like, I want to start now.
Oh,
Growing up, I couldn't, ignore the injustices I saw around me. Basically, I belong to a community where gender equality is at its lowest. And what really empowered that change, that thought, is that my family never raised me the way they saw the society treating their daughters. They were
mm,
like, oh no, this is just so bad. We need her to be independent. I
mm,
guess that was the biggest turning point and the only reason I got the idea of change. Because when your family really wants you to be different, they want you to do that and not what society says or what tells them. And I guess that's a story behind the idea of change which I have. So what truly sparked my journey is, as you guys know, it's a change which starts with us, and it starts right now. Growing up, I couldn't ignore the injustice I saw around me. There were moments when I felt so deeply for those, who were unheard, those girls who were unheard, unnoticed, or marginalized. Because being a woman in these communities are like disabilities. They call it they are respecting you, but hiding your face doesn't mean that is they are respecting you. I realized that while the world around me was often harsh and unkind, there were also an immense power in standing up, speaking out, and refusing to be silent, such as my parents did. And I learned the skill from that. As a child, I felt the weight of those challenges, though. The weight of the world that sometimes feels too big, too complicated, or too, indifferent to make a difference. But then something shifted inside me. I understood that no matter how young people or gender equality or small we are, but then something shifted, and it was like the idea that I talked about. It was so beautiful. So we all have the capacity to create change, do that. I remember those quiet moments when I would lie awake, always asking myself, what if I could be a part of something bigger? Or what if I could help shape the future? And in those moments, I realized I had a choice to stay quiet, to let the world pass by me by, or to step forward and use whatever influence I had. However small it seems to make a difference, the love and hope I feel for this world, the hope I felt for my passion, the dream of a better tomorrow, the dream of a better me, the dream of my better society became my fuel. I wanted to stand up, and not just for myself, but for every person, for every girl out there who has struggled to get up a good education, or people think that it's useless to invest in that. For every child who wonder if their dreams could come true, I wanted to be the voice for those who might not have a platform, to bring awareness to issues that matter, and to create a space where challenge and change is possible. Both of these are possible. And that's when I knew that every fiber of my being that I have to start now. The future isn't waiting, and neither should we. And these are just the moments when the road felt impossibly hard. But when I told I was too young or too experienced or inexperienced, but those were the very moments that made me more determined. I have realized that our youth isn't something to be overlooked. Our young girls are not something to be overlooked, it's something to be celebrated and harnessed. We have the power to dream, to love, to hope, and to act. And those things can change the world in ways we might not even realize yet. I want every young person, I want every girl out there, I want every girl, individual in my society to know their voice is powerful. You don't need to wait for permission for the right age or the right circumstances. The time is now. I hope that when people look at my story, they see more than just a young person speaking up. I want them to see the message. You're not too young to create change, and you don't even have got to be a man to create change. You're not too small to make an impact, and your voice, no matter how quiet it may seem, can echo across the world. So as I'm doing what I'm doing right now, this journey isn't just about me, it's about all of us, actually.
So, tell me about when this thought came to you that you could be the power of change, even at such a young age, that yes, whatever, however small, what was the first thing you did? Were you into talking on school platforms, on forums, or debating? How did you bring across this change? And how did you connect to UNSDG? Was there, you were always, yeah, there is some first step, right? I'm
Yeah.
sure you were speaking about it first to different forums in school and debates. So, where was this? How did that first step? Okay, you
Uh,
thought about it that I
yeah.
want to be a change maker, I want to advocate this. What step you took?
Now, when we think about action and when we think we have to do it right now, just Google it. The whole world is so full of possibilities, is so full of things. The whole world is full of opportunities. If we think they exist. The best thing I would like, and the thing I did, how can I create, and just typed on Google, how can I create a world more better place?
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I was 10 at that age, and genuinely I came across all of this, like, oh my god, there's something called SDGs. Is there something called, is this happening in the United Nations? And I was like, oh, this is so good.
Okay.
And then I just scrolled down. I applied here and there. And in the process of firstly, you see, no one's get just perfect at everything. I faced rejections, and in those rejections, what I learned is how to really understand, and what I can do next time I didn't did this time, so that I got selected, or I got into it, or any platform.
Got
I
into
learned.
what? Got into what? You are looking for what? You are looking, you applied at the United Nations or fellowship, or what were you looking at? at that
Well,
age?
I was looking up for fellowships and delegations to United Nations conferences, and basically, I was such a young person. Like, I was also a person raised this question to me: how can a 10 years old know what the future holds, or like how can they really be too into shaping the world and their policies? And in that moment of time, I realized I have to prove them wrong.
Mhm.
And in the whole journey of this, when I used to apply for fellowships or for United Nations conferences delegations, I faced rejections, and they are just totally okay because we all do. I learned something, and the next time I didn't do that, I generally gained the knowledge. So firstly, gain the knowledge, people. This is
Yeah.
so
Mm. Right.
gain the knowledge, or if you just want to start, you'll get that, get that knowledge in the process.
Or also, would you say that young people today, they don't want to follow up something which is a long-term thing. They want quick action. Okay, it's not happening, let's move on to something. Would you say that sticking to that passion and not moving away, even if you fail rejection, was again a point which you like to make here?
Oh yep, sticking up, it's all about your mindset actually. If you really want that thing by heart, no matter how many rejections you get, you'll
Mm,
always stuck in that,
mm.
you
Now,
know so
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
so maybe the young people we are talking about, maybe that field isn't really for them. Because I bet when a person really loves something, or when the thing is really for that person, they will
Mm,
do whatever they can to have it. And
mm,
that comes from heart. And we actually have to, build this up. So what I would like to say that they are exploring, and we should let them explore.
yeah.
One day they'll meet their dream career, and then they're gonna, get into it. It's gonna be such a blast because not everybody is built for everything. So I would like to, conclude this point with this. So yeah, it was so
Right.
hard for me too, but I loved it, and
Mm,
I did,
mm.
and I made out of it.
So, let our audience know about your work with Africa and how did you make an impact? What did you do that you were? I was listening to your podcast. I was going through your LinkedIn to know you have really, really done some amazing work in Africa. What kind of work you did? How did you get connected? Let's hear about it.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start it by a first statement. Africa holds a special place in my heart. I don't really know why, but there's something. Over the years, I had the privilege of working on various initiatives like Football for Goals, Together for SDGs, Club 17 initiatives, aimed at uplifting communities in all the ways possible, supporting youth and fostering sustainable development goals across the continent. My work in Africa has been a journey of learning, growth, and incredible transformation that I never thought could ever happen. And I really feel that a person from a country can influence a continent. Like, see the power. This is just not for the communities I've worked with, but for myself as well. This is such a beautiful thing ever happened.
So, you have actually gone there and worked on the ground with people from there. So, tell us, share some interesting anecdotes or stories of how you impact.
Okay. Okay. So, well, my work in Africa have, it's been online since the past year. Speaking at forums, getting into United Nations conferences online. But later in this year, May, we had UN Civil Society Conference. It was the first conference in Africa.
Okay.
And I was a delegate to that, Indian delegate. And you know what? It was like, this is something which I want to do. It's like,
Wow,
wow,
lovely.
I got it. I got it. Actually, I
Yeah.
got my field. I got that thing up. So that in that conferences, like we have a lot of conferences in United Nations, but this one was something which was truly different. When I started this journey of diplomacy, I always talked about action. This was the first conference we talked about action in United Nations, in civil society. And it was so fun. And, it was just so practical. We were like amazingly designed, and people in Africa are really so supportive. They're really so uplifting. Poverty is really hitting them hard, and nothing else is happening. So
So it was for how many
that
days and how many delegates were there and where was this? In Nairobi? Or where was
Yeah, in Nairobi, Isabel. Yeah, in Nairobi, and there's like delegates from all over the world. It was a
Wow.
big conference, a big conference. But what truly mattered in that conference is what's happening after that conference. After that 4 room of conference, who is taking things home and actually doing those things which matters to create a more sustainable to create a sustainable future. And what a really amazing work I did here was, we made up a follow-up team called Club 17 out of after the conference. Now, a very beautiful thing I'm gonna tell you. This conference introduced a term intergenerational.
Okay.
It means it consists of people who are old, who are young, in every single body.
Wow.
And I was one of the most youngest person there. And this was the best thing. Basically, that was, all covered up since it's been May. Today is, we are at the end of the year. It was all covered up. And serious, and we made up teams known as we have impact coalition in United Nations where stakeholders, ORGs, and different world leaders come together to form real action. And these terms was also introduced in this conference. So we made up a follow-up thing. And what we are really working in Club 17 is that we wanted to be intergenerational. Intergenerational, everything intergenerational, because I have been, people raise questions to me, why would a 13-year-old would be the 16th leader for the Nairobi movement, which is grafted from the Club 17 of the follow-up of the UN Civil Society Conference. Questions like these have, raised on me, like, just why? Why is she the 16th leader out of 17 leader in the whole world? Why only her? Basically, because I'm young and age is not my disability, it's my asset. And I have a different perspective for the world that maybe those who are in decades in this journey haven't got some. Because we are the future leaders, but we are also the leader of today.
So
because
amazing.
What we do right now will impact today.
Yeah,
we know
amazing.
this mantra.
Superb. Like, okay, I wish I can keep talking to you. This is a topic which will be of great interest to me to speak to you after this interview. But I would love to know who is your biggest influence in life? Somebody whom you look up to, somebody whom you idolize, a hero. Who is that person in your life?
Okay, so my role model, it's like so many influential leaders in the whole world. My role model. Yep. My role model is Nelson Mandela. He's from Africa. I'm telling you, I really have a heart by heart connection with Africa. A truly remarkable figure whose life and work continue to inspire me, and not only me, countless others around the world. What makes him so profoundly influential is not just his incredible strength or leadership to a time of unimaginable adversity, but his unwavering commitment to peace, equality, and justice. I am personally I'm a personally SDG 16 representative in the United Nations, which focuses on peace, equality, and justice. So Mandela's journey was not at all easy, and this is the reason why he is my role model. He faced years of imprisonment and suffering, yet he never let bitterness or hatred define him. He never let those rejections define him. Instead, he embraced forgiveness, understanding that true progress comes from unity and understanding rather than division. His ability to forgive even those who assist him teaches us the power of compassion in transforming society, because it is not at all possible that everybody will like you, some will hate you. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, we want peace, we want equality and justice. And being an STG, being an STG leader, we need to keep this in mind that we need to create peace wherever we go, because
Right.
we are the people who people will look up. Oh my God, this person is representing this STG. So we just have to make our personality that way. At the end of the day, it's just all of us. What stands out most about him is that his unshakable belief that change is possible. Like I always, action, action, action,
Correct.
no matter how
Now,
impossible it may seem. Yeah.
yeah, true, absolutely. Yeah, I'm coming to another question, which is about very important for young people now, and I think this is a constant question to me from to my all my interviewees is that what do you do to handle stress level? What is it that you do for mental well-being? Is there any special thing you do, or you go with the flow? Do you write journals? Do you speak to somebody? Do you have that one special person whom you go to with all your problems? How do you manage the stress of the whole thing along with that, plus the mental well-being, which is so critical now among youth?
Yep. Mental well-being. I have listened to so many of my colleagues think, Nitya, this is so tough. Like this is like people of my age group. How can we even handle? My mental health is so ruined. I hear this from so many of colleagues from my age. And you know what? This is personally the greatest thing that can ruin you or that can make you up. If you know how to handle your mental health, if you know how to handle your mindset, anything is possible.
Do you think people, young people, don't open up and share things, or they do? What is that among your age group, teens? What are they feeling right now? Do you think that people listen to them, or nobody has time?
Okay, people listen to them. Actually, people are open to listen to them. But
Uh,
the thing is that they are too ashamed to open up.
share. Hmm.
For real, if they go and sit with their parents, I'm pretty sure that they will get a positive response. But they're like, oh my God, what if this happened? They
Yeah.
are they're surviving into if.
Hmm.
So this needs that mindset. If you don't have got someone to talk with, even start journaling, start talking to yourself, because it helps me um multiple times. So it's an essential focus of my life, both personally and professionally. We always need break from our profession and from our school.
Right.
Break, and that moment of time feels so good. I bet it's the
How
best.
do you handle uh, negativity among peers, bad mouthing, body shaming, whatever? There's so many issues teens face nowadays.
There's so many issues.
All my interviews are nobody can. We all were part of this, but now this generation more so. So how do you handle that?
Okay, so personally, I never faced this thing by myself or in front of me. Maybe because I will start giving them, big context, like how can I say that or stuff. But I have seen people doing this to peer
Um,
or to the people of their age and talking shit about themselves. But at the end of the day, is very important for them to keep up with boundaries.
hmm, right. Up to
People
what
will not
level you
see.
want to get them close to? Yeah.
Yeah. So to those people who are, feeling ashamed because someone is talking about their flaws, why are you even letting them have a say? You don't really, why set yourself some boundaries?
Hmm.
There's two things they can do, and I guess this is everything they need to, get out of this thing. Okay. First one, set boundaries, as I said. Speak up. Whenever they talk about your flaws, speak up. Like, how can you? This is me.
Hmm.
Okay. Second, what the person can do or what the team can do, don't really care about that. Do whatever you want to do.
Mm.
First, speak up, or else don't say
Ignore.
anything. Like,
Move
who,
on.
who gave you a say? You
Yeah.
know? So, to all those suffering with mental health, or if you're seeing your peers talking, things about you that they shouldn't, go stand up, else ignore them because they truly don't matter. In the end of the day, it's just you, it's just things and the person you are.
That's very strong words, which people might take it because many people are not able to do that. And that is the whole point. They feel that other people's opinion are so important for them to be liked by everyone. The moment you want to be liked by everyone, people are going to take advantage of you. So now is the time, Nitya, when you get to ask me a question. It's a role reversal. I have been asking you questions now. You can ask me any one question which you want to put to me. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to ask you, why do you wanted to why do you wanted to choose teaching as your profession?
Okay. You're taking me way back. Right. Because
Wow.
when we were in school, we had no role models other than teachers. There was no social
Wow.
media. Okay, our only role models were teachers. When I used to see our English teacher, we used to say she is the best model ever
Person.
to speak. How graceful! If our maths teacher, some of the teachers were so influential, and they were like heroes in our life. So we always aspire to be either them or the other heroes, which I wanted to aspire is to the news readers. So these were the two people. Like we didn't have anyone else to look up to. So that's the progression. Like you follow somebody whom you love in that journey of
So
life.
much.
Nitya, we had this wonderful conversation, and the gamut of topics we discussed is our policy making to your Africa work to your being the youngest diplomat from India, right, in UN.
Yeah.
This is something which is really, really stupend, fantabulous work. And really, I'm so happy to have you today. We had a great conversation, and I hope the the motivations which you gave to our youth will stay with them. I would love you to end this with something which you believe in, which could be a one liner, which could be a quote, which could be something which will stay with the people. So over to you.
Okay, so this is the beautifulest thing. What I really want to say is I've got to think about this actually because the words really matter at the end of the day. I'll take time. Okay, I want to say, so the message I want to give to everybody here, your life is your game. Play it your way.
Wow.
Because whosoever you want to be, or if you're a good person, your life is just